All right guys, in this video we're going to show you how we get line sets up through our flat roofing a quick and easy way. Some guys call this a gooseneck, some guys call this a candy cane. I just call it a good idea. Stick around and we'll show you how it's done. What's up guys, my name's Aaron. We're here in our shop in Madison, Indiana with Exterior Pro, and today's video is going to be a demonstration on how we do a line set up through the deck, up into the flat roofing, and then out to a condenser unit that would be for walk-in cooler, freezer, mini split, ice machine. Anything that would have a condenser unit is going to need a line set, and it's also going to need a power feed. So instead of doing a pitch pan, which are expensive and sloppy and take time and just not as clean as this detail, we like to do this, and I'm going to show you how it's done today. It's a very simple way, and anybody can do it. A superintendent, your roofer, or your condensing guy, your refrigeration guy, he can do this easy. All right guys, the first scenario, I just want to show you like what these components are. It's a piece of 4-inch PVC. You could do it in 3 or 4. I prefer 4, and that leaves enough room for the line sets and a piece of Romex for the power, so you can power your units and everything. You don't have to have a separate flashing. So I like 4, but some guys will like 3. It's your preference, whatever you want to do. But this is a very simple setup. All this is a piece of 4-inch PVC. This is a 90. If it's 3, I usually get like a long sweep 90. I try to get the longest sweep possible. And then I put a street 45. So my 45 doesn't have any fitting. It's a street fitting, so it just slides right into the hub on my 90. And that gives this a nice turn down. So my line sets can be pushed from the bottom of the building up. They can easily, those copper line sets can easily make this radius, come back down and sweep out. And same thing with your Romex to get power to your condensers. So on this particular setup here, this is what it would look like if I were going to set one of these into a roof that we had not put the roof on yet. So we would cut a hole in the deck, metal or wood, either one, and I would put one of these riser clamps on it, and then this piece of pipe would stub down into the building. I would just take my riser clamp and I would just set it there, and then what I would do is take my fittings and I would just let this pipe just sit right there. And then when I put my ISO on, I would notch my ISO around it, my first layer, take my second layer, get it up in here, flash this thing just like you would any other PVC pipe with either your TPO or your PVC flashings. Then when you got the roof on, you got your flashings on, come back on, drop your fittings on. Very simple. It's easy. I do not glue these fittings. I don't think they should be glued on. It makes it easier to flash. It makes it easier sometimes for the condenser guy to start to push his line sets up through, and then they can slide them on. So I don't glue them. And then at the end of these, what usually we'll see is guys will take a little bit of spray foam. Once the power's ran, once the line sets are ran, they'll spray foam this just to not keep the air from commingling, the air that's inside the building, conditioned air, from coming up and commingling with air that's unconditioned up on the roof. So shoot you a little bit of spray foam in there. That's a very easy thing to do. All right, so the last little bit we just showed was about using one of these riser clamps to hold the pipe if the roof wasn't on, and then we ice around it. What are you going to do if the roof's already on, which is almost always the case because people don't know where these are going during the rough-in phase. The condenser refrigeration guy is usually one of the later guys to come in onto the job site, so a lot of times people don't know where these are going. So if we have to cut these in after the fact, I don't use the riser clamp. And what I do is I go buy a toilet flange from Lowe's, Home Depot. It's a 4-inch toilet flange. It fits right onto my bottom of my PVC pipe. So what I'll do is I'll take this flange, I'll set this on my roofing, I'll trace around. You can use a hole saw, cut a nice clean hole, but you've got to have some way to support this pipe because after you cut your hole, your pipe's just going to fall through the deck. It'll go all the way through and it'll be here, and that's not what you want. This has got to be standing up so we can get a flashing around this. So then what I'll do after I cut the hole into the deck, I'll put the hole for the pipe to slide through, so I know I've got a hole on the bottom. Then I'll lay the toilet flange on it again, and I won't cut it out to the deck. I'll just cut my ISO around here and set this flange on the deck, and then I'll use these holes that are already in the toilet flange to run a screw. So now I've got my candy cane or gooseneck, whatever you want to call it, mounted securely to the deck with a hole in the bottom of it where it's supposed to go. So now the guys, they take a ceiling tile out, or maybe the grid's not in yet, and they'll push their line sets right up through, come out and around. So if it's a retrofit, if the roof's on, I go with the toilet flange. If it's new construction and the roof's not on, or there's no ISO on the roof, or it's a tear off and you can get to the bare deck, you just need the pipe, then I'll go with these riser clamps. But either way, this is a very simple and easy, quick way to get line sets up. It's clean. Your PVC, your TPO flashes right to the pipe. Anybody can do it. Superintendent can do it. Roofer can do it. Refrigeration can do it. It's quick and clean, and it looks good on a finished product. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll catch you on the next one.